Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to apologize a little bit. I have a cold, but as a teacher, you know, the show must go on even when you're a little froggy. And so thankful for Becky Higgins and her great leadership and the leadership of OEA. And a special shout out to my friends of DEA over there with Dave Romick and Joni Watson. Appreciate all their great support and the great work they've done this past year to turn over a new school board, one that will be a partner with teachers and a partner with the city of Dayton. It's a great partnership. We're really excited. I'm Nan Whaley, and for the last 4 years, I've had the honor of serving as mayor to a great American city, Dayton, Ohio, home of the University of Dayton Flyers and the birthplace of aviation. Now, one thing I want you to know about me is that you may not always agree with me, but you will always know where I stand. A true leader takes a stand. A true leader has to lead with her values and not be afraid of bold new ideas and change. It's the only way that I've been able to accomplish anything as a progressive mayor in the reddest part of this state. Now, I've had the opportunity to travel across our state and work on issues that affect all of us. I was a founding member of the Ohio Mayor's Alliance, as Becky said, representing Ohio's 30 largest cities. And in 2011, I was the chief of staff on the No on Senate Bill 5 campaign, where I was proud to go to the OEA headquarters every single day to work to keep collective bargaining rights right here in Ohio. So I have seen the diversity of this state. But despite our differences, we all have common hopes and dreams. We all want to live in a state where we can provide for our families. We all want to live in a state where everyone has the opportunity and chance to succeed. We all want to live in a state where opportunity truly is available to everyone. We all also have common doubts and fears. Many of our neighbors and friends are frustrated and angry. They feel forgotten, invisible, ignored. And really, who can blame them? They have been misled and deceived for years. Governor Kasich has described this economy in recent years as the Ohio miracle. Well, the Ohio miracle has trailed the nation in jobs for 60 months. Last year was the worst year for jobs in Ohio since 2009. Think about it. 2009 was the height of the Great Recession. The Ohio miracle has Ohioans' earnings consistently trailing the nation. So Ohioans are working more and more and getting paid less and less. Just one example. While in Lake County this past summer, I met a woman named Nancy. Nancy has been working for one of our public schools in Lake County for 16 years. Just this year, she finally started earning more than $30,000 a year. So that's not enough for her to take care of her family. So she told me she's taken on a second job as a cashier at a local grocery store. The Ohio miracle hasn't made its way to Nancy's wallet. The Ohio miracle has slashed your community's budget in order to create tax loopholes for the wealthy. So your local communities had to raise your property taxes to make ends meet. My friends, the Ohio miracle is nothing more than the Ohio mirage. The State House crowd wants you to see job numbers that aren't there. They want you to see tax cuts that aren't real. And they want you to see more money in your pocket that truly doesn't exist. Now, when you serve as mayor, you don't have the luxury of looking away. Cities are where the rubber meets the road, and this State House crowd doesn't even know that a road exists. Lawmakers in Columbus have balanced their budgets on the backs of our working people, on the backs of our schools, and on the backs of our cities and towns. The mayor of Lorain recently testified at a legislative hearing in Columbus that police cars are breaking down on the way to emergencies. There aren't enough resources to provide the basic services that we desperately need. I was in Monroe County, over on the eastern side of the state. The county recorder told me they can't even find people willing to run for office. This past November, they had 22 open seats in that county. Why? People don't want the responsibility of letting down their friends and neighbors because they don't have the resources to provide the vital services. Now, as mayor, I've had to provide services every single day. We've been able to cut our unemployment rate in half and spur more than $1 billion in investment in our city in creating jobs. We are the first city in the state to provide paid parental leave to all of our city workers. And under my leadership, we have been able to provide every single 4-year-old in our city with access to high-quality, universal pre-K. It's because I've worked with every community, and only because I've worked with every community in Dayton, that we've been able to accomplish so much. I'm going to take that same approach as governor. We need a governor who will focus on every corner of Ohio, from small towns to big cities, from farms to factories, from Lake Erie all the way down to the Ohio River. Now, we've been deceived and misled, but as bad as that deceit has been in Columbus, it doesn't compare to the lies we've been told by the big pharmaceutical companies. They came into our towns and communities and told us opioids weren't addictive. They told us we could use these drugs without any worries. Yet Ohio leads the nation in accidental overdose deaths. Of the top 10 cities in America that are marred by the epidemic, 3 are in Ohio, and 1 is my hometown of Dayton. In 2015, Narcan was administered 19,000 times in this state. In 2017, Narcan was administered 12,000 times just in the city of Dayton. The numbers are staggering. The headlines are gut-wrenching. But it really hits home when it gets personal. For me, it was in 2008 when I learned a young man whose family lived 2 streets from me, a boy I babysat when he was growing up, when he was 5 and I was 13, died of a drug overdose in 2008. Or the call I got a few months ago telling me a family friend that I've known for more than 20 years had OD'd twice in 1 week. This is a young man who had a good-paying job, who had served in our armed forces, and had a family of his own. It took 4 doses of Narcan to revive him. Too many fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives are getting called by calls like this. And under my leadership, Dayton was the first city in Ohio and the 4th in the nation to file suit against the big drug companies, the manufacturers, the distributors, and the doctors responsible for this crisis. We are holding the drug companies accountable. Cities and counties across our nation have followed Dayton's lead and brought suits of their own, over 100 to date. Our communities are taking action because the state and federal government have shown no leadership on this issue. President Trump has declared an emergency and has assigned $57,000 for the entire nation to deal with the epidemic. Our state needs to do more to treat this epidemic like the emergency that it is. That's why last month I called for a nickel per dose surcharge to be paid by the manufacturers to begin repairing the devastation they've created in our state. This will provide a sustainable revenue source that will bring more than $31 million every single year to provide the resources we need in our community. This is about justice for our communities, justice for taxpayers, justice for the families who have lost loved ones, and justice for the people and families who are struggling with addiction right now. Now, if there's one message I'd like to leave you with, it's this: false claims and more broken promises will not move this state forward. If we want to turn this state around, we need a governor who's ready to act boldly, a governor who gets it and gets it done, a governor who isn't afraid to face our challenges head on. So, if you believe in the dignity of work, then why can't we create good-paying jobs with wages you can raise a family on? If you believe in the power of education, which I know you all do, then why can't we make high-quality pre-K a reality for every child? And if you believe heroin truly is a cancer eating away at Ohio from within, then why shouldn't the drug companies who made this mess pay to clean it up? I'm Nan Whaley, and if you believe Ohio's best days can be ahead of us, I hope you'll join me on this race for governor. Thanks for all you do.